Welcome to a special edition of the Fresh Cred, recorded live at Viva Fresh 2025, the premier show celebrating the Tex-Mex corridor, a vital trade route and year-round production hub. These episodes are made possible thanks to our amazing sponsors: Sunfed, Ifco, Monterey Mushrooms, EXP Group, Anavale, Arctic's Produce, Agrogonzamek, Agribah, Athos, and the Texas International Produce Association. Enjoy the episode.
We're joined here today by Mr. Austin Moore from HEB. Thank you for being here with us. It's been a long time coming.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you for being a supporter and encouraging us along the way, because you have, and I appreciate it. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
You definitely haven't discouraged us.
Okay, that's fair. Let's put
it that way.
Yeah.
So how are you doing?
I'm
enjoying the show so far?
Yeah. It's been a fun show. It's been a fun show. A little bit of.
You've been to every one of them.
I have.
So you've got
yes,
some
I
good
have been to all
perspective.
10. Little shake hands, kiss babies. It's amazing how much bigger it's gotten. How much bigger it's gotten, and how the hotels are learning to accommodate the bar, I think, as well.
That's an interesting opening statement. Yes. So side note, during planning phase, we typically, and I'm saying from an association standpoint, we typically let the facilities know to stock up appropriately. Let's put it that way. Maybe the first 5 years, they literally ran out of adult beverages. So that's a good point. But yeah.
Well done. Well done.
10 years, great perspective on where we've been, where we came from. Glad you still see the value in being here.
Of course.
I'm sure you have a favorite venue or city, maybe partial to one.
One that's not 2.5 miles or hours away. But there's two Buc-ee's now instead of just one. So I mean, that's something to look forward to on the way. Could say Schulenburg.
Well, guess what? We're back in your hometown next year.
Hell yeah.
For 2 years.
Awesome.
We can guarantee that.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Well,
So I've known Austin quite a while. When he was a young, what was you weren't BDMs back then, or what were you guys way back in the day when you kind of got started?
I was a coordinator at the beginning, so yeah. I was the phone answerer.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
the phone answerer.
Yeah, you were phone answerer,
and that's back. We had no voicemail,
and
so everything rang to me. I had to talk to everyone.
And you started at the produce up in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Were you in a Central Market?
Yeah, I was. So started in produce. 15 years old. Worked for some notorious peddlers in DFW.
Notorious peddlers. What is a notorious peddler?
There was one gentleman. He's left us now, but
sounds like a rapper.
That's a great
his
name.
name was Barry. Barry, dialysis in his 40s. Arm wrestling champion of West Texas.
What?
$10,000 cash in his pocket. He was a dang pirate.
And you're 15 working for this guy?
I'm 15. I needed money, and my I wanted to throw pizzas because they hired 15-year-olds, and my mom was worried that I was going to be around stoners and ne'er-do-wells, so she got me a job with Barry, throwing produce, and that was that was sweeping up cigarettes and beer bottles at the end of each day, because he'd be back there with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, cutting the watermelon and shucking the corn. It was
we still do that at Sunfed.
Good.
Where was that, Austin? Is that West Texas?
No, this is up in the mid-cities, DFW area. Okay. So
was an independent grocer.
Yeah, little gutted 7-Eleven, and
all right.
And he pushed produce out of that. Learned how to select stuff. Learned how to argue. Learned how to put up with difficult bosses. And went to school for completely unrelated things, but started with Central Market, stocking the shelves right out of college. Inspected for him in Dallas, inspected for him in San Antonio, answered phones for a minute, bought some stuff for a while, and I think I've been a category manager BDM for 13, 14 years at this point. Yeah.
You look like you're the same age as when I met you.
That is not true at all.
Maybe when he started in the business.
My peninsula turned into an island, and I had to give up on hair during COVID. I wish I could look like you when I grew up.
I was trying to figure out what that. I wasn't exactly sure what a peninsula.
Had a little peninsula, but then I had this ridiculous little circle thing going on. So
I guess that's true.
I was hoping to grow up and look like you, but one day.
I don't know. I don't know if you want to look like
get glasses like that and all that other stuff.
You can get these badass glasses on Amazon.
On Amazon
for like $12.
Okay.
So but I've had more people. I've had a couple of either people like them, or they give me a hard time about those are ridiculous.
I think you're serving up a fresh look.
Well, that's the whole idea.
Yeah, between that and the metal, you look like a rapper.
And Ed, what was my rapper name?
Garden Produce?
No, the peddler. What did you call him?
Notorious Peddler.
Notorious peddler.
Notorious peddler.
Notorious squash peddler.
Notorious squash
man, you
peddler.
should've copyrighted that.
Yeah.
Notorious squash peddler.
Should've.
So I am like on my phone or whatever. When it comes up, it's squash peddler.
Squash peddler.
So now I may now have to change that to notorious squash.
I think you should.
Yeah,
I think you should.
Notorious
Except
is
then
good.
people are going to have to spell it.
And I don't know if you can self-proclaim that.
It's a lot
What do
of
you mean I
vowels.
can't
I'm
self-proclaim?
not sure you can self-proclaim Notorious. Can you?
I think we should.
Well, hell, you can
I think we
self-proclaim
should.
whatever you want to.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no law against self-proclaiming.
It's all about branding. It's all about
Self-proclamation
branding.
is
Sunfed
like-
loves
Go for it.
branding. I think just brand yourself.
I'll never say it.
Yeah.
I'll never say it.
You're the one that inspired it.
But I didn't
Austin
say it was
throws
for you.
it out there. You inspired,
I
and
didn't
now,
say it was
all
for
right,
you.
something good. I'm going to latch on to. He's running away.
It's
I don't
yours
know.
now. It's
So-
yours now, man.
All right, Austin. So let's get on. So you own your journey. My God, you're
Yeah.
working at Central Market. You moved to San Antonio when?
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
So you get to San Antonio. They put you on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And now, what did you start with, and where are you at now?
So-
desk-wise?
So I started with the Western veg, Eastern veg stuff, the squash, the lettuce. I think I started buying it was 2011, if I remember right, because it was the first $100 market in Iceberg, or the first one in a very long time.
Yeah.
That got passed up back in 2022, but 2011 that was a
That
rough.
probably hadn't happened since.
No, 2022, yes. I think it got up to
$100?
about it got up to like 140 on
No
Iceberg,
kidding.
if I remember
Anyway,
right.
Sorry.
Anyway, so started buying lettuce, did melons for a minute, drew a short straw once and did the tofu, which is definitely something.
That's a dynamic category.
Actually what I did was I tasted everything in the set, and if it was unforgivably gross, I discontinued it, and sales went up 50%.
Huh?
It's
Look at
business.
that. That's
It's business.
genius.
I'm a businessman.
Freaking genius.
I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
So yeah, did that. Past 3 years, it's been salads, herbs, dressings, and just kind of whatever else happens to move my direction.
Did you move to San Antonio for the HEB job, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Hugh Topper.
Okay.
Said if I wanted to be in the produce business, I needed to be in San Antonio,
Okay.
in the state of Texas. And
So you weren't looking
honestly,
for another job when you moved to San
I'll give him
Antonio.
credit. It was right. And yeah. No, they gave. I was an hourly inspector, and they gave me a relocation check to change apartments, and I had to sign a 2-year contract.
I wondered.
Yeah.
I've been in the warehouse with him with no jacket on, and I wondered where he got such fortitude. And it's from those QA days.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Although it's weird. So out there, I'd only wear like a polo light jacket, and but it made the summer so damn oppressive, right? Because like if you're spending most of your life at 55 degrees,
Oh,
so
the
like
shock.
my AC bill was because I kept it 60 in my apartment
Oh,
at that
wow,
time.
yeah,
That was a
could be rough.
400 square foot apartment, so I could afford to do that. But yeah, I kept it 60 just because it was miserable during the summer just to walk outside. But
So I typically
God bless the
carry
inspectors.
If I have to go in a cold environment, I carry a pair of insulated bibs, but I'm not proud.
Insulated bibs.
Yeah.
I've learned the value of a good hat these days. Like
Earmuffs.
I started wearing a hat. I keep one in the back of my car, and when I travel, go visit vendors, if I'm in a cooler, I'll usually ask for a hat, and then I'll wear that hat to the next vendor that I visit just to stir a little shit up. It's always been fun.
Or make them give you another hat.
Yeah, exactly. So like, just make sure that I'm wearing a competitor's hat in every single.
Always keep them on their
thing.
toes. That's right.
Exactly.
Always be negotiating.
Always negotiating.
Yeah. for
Part of the
sure.
deal.
Dallas was home. That's born and raised.
Dallas is
Oh, wow.
home. My dad was a biochemist,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and I'm a screw up. But I found out my great grandfather was a buying agent in Utah. I don't know any other details other than he bought.
Wow.
And he bought produce, so it took 4 generations to forget
Nice.
what it's like to be a buyer.
Wow.
So your lineage hails from Utah.
Yes, yeah.
Well, you were born in Texas.
The
though,
Jello
right?
Belt. Yeah. Born in Texas, but
Okay.
but come from Jello country, where the pies are good and the beer is weak.
Yeah.
Jello country, is that what we said?
Yeah. It's the Jello Belt.
Never heard that.
Look it up. want to get too deep
taken.
into it, but look it up.
Sounds deep though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a word he made up though.
No, I read a Wikipedia on it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, then it's 100%.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
Edits those.
Yeah.
All right, so biochemist. So I got to get to, and this show will come and go, but and Ed's a boot guy.
He is a boot guy.
But
Hey, wait, I want to say I'm taking. Like, he hasn't noticed. These are my loudest boots I have.
They're fabulous.
Hasn't complimented me, so I'm a little hurt.
What? That's wrong. That's wrong. I complimented you yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Double soles.
Oh, okay.
Double soles, double stitching, man.
All right. Well, you're
if a rattlesnake bit you, you'd be okay.
Would make boots out of it.
so you guys, you're gonna have to do one. I mean, because we can talk about your boots. So Austin is a boot collector, right? Would you fair to say?
Yeah, enthusiast.
Enthusiast.
I'm
What's
a
the
boot
difference in an
enthusiast.
enthusiast and
Let's
a
say
collector?
aficionado.
I think collector suggests
Aficionado.
that like I have a dedicated like boot spot, and really it's just a pile in the closet. But
Okay, so
but I
There's
No,
no.
he's
I
downplaying
do
it.
try
He's
to-
downplaying
I
it.
guarantee
a
you-
pile
I
in the
guarantee
closet.
You come in like a
he's got glass
You
doors.
don't
and
think
open
he has a
up, and
pile
there's
of
just freaking
anything.
boots in behind it.
Yeah.
That's
no. I got about 12 pairs that I cycle through. They've been a goofy professional calling card as long as I've been a grown up.
What's the most expensive pair?
Oh yeah, damn it!
Come on, I got.
It's the ones I'm wearing. It's the ones I'm wearing.
That's like
So,
asking how many acres do you own? I don't know. I mean, favorite pair maybe, but most expensive.
What the hell
pair?
are you talking about? That's like, why would I've asked people how many acres you own?
Well, it's inappropriate.
I don't think so.
Well, I guess you
maybe
don't have to tell us the dollar amount. Just tell us the. most
you've given me an opportunity to humble brag, and
right.
but I'm not going to get the dollar amount.
All right,
These are American alligator.
they're just American.
Yeah.
So
American
can you
alligator.
hike your leg up so the audience?
Oh,
can see the little thing?
Without
I'm getting
banging
old.
the
I'm
desk.
getting
Yeah,
older.
don't fall down.
I'm getting older,
this
Craig.
process.
Maybe for the thumbnail after the conversation. I'll,
All right, yeah, Mason's getting a picture, so everybody,
How about
anybody that watches
Yeah,
this,
I'll do it.
go to
He's
the-
already editing and
do it for the
thumbnailing.
thumbnail. But
You're a natural at this.
yeah, I got married in Hawaii because my wife wanted that, but I wasn't gonna not get married in boots. So my pictures are ridiculous because I'm wearing like linen pants.
You got married in Hawaii?
Yeah, I got married in Kauai just quietly, and but I'm wearing these ridiculous gator boots, on a public beach in linen.
Ah, nice.
I mean, it wasn't a good look, but I wasn't going to get married otherwise. I thought that was critical. Anyway, it was these. So I had an excuse to splurge.
Oh, very nice.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
yeah, that
Yes,
makes
sir.
sense. So,
Yeah.
you've had them for a minute.
I've had these, yeah, 9 years.
Were
at this
they
point.
are they custom made or did you
No.
buy them?
I go to the Lucchese store every once in a while, or the San Marcos outlets are closed, which is a shame because I got some real dandy stamped leather ones there and some cool fish boots. But
Craig, I'd go to the Lucchese store, but they don't have layaway, so they don't have a layaway.
no,
program
I
there.
just
Austin doesn't even know what layaway is.
save it for
It's pay now,
No, it's
pay
for-
later,
it's
or
for
whatever they call it.
milestones.
They don't call it layaway
they'll
anymore.
give you some whiskey too.
I want a pair of those.
Yeah.
But all joking aside, and not to like belabor the boot aficionado thing, but I've had a couple pairs made, and
Mhm.
really, it sounds way more fancy than it is. You actually, if you don't pay what retail is, you might pay a little bit less because they're direct from
Oh, yeah.
the manufacturer. So there's a couple places in McAllen that I've had a couple pairs made, and you put them on for the first time, and it's like you've been wearing them your whole life.
I
And
hear-
it's amazing.
I hear there's a dude in I think it's Falfurrias that
See, I didn't know that one.
I think it's Nacho's the dude's name. He's like 80, and he'll trace your foot on a manila folder, and he'll call
Exactly
you in
what they
2
do.
years. And
No,
and
it's
if you ask
exactly-
how much they are, then you can't afford them.
It's real simple. It's manila folder, and then they take a measurement near the toes, near the top where your leg meets the top of your foot, and then I think the back. And then he writes them down, and then literally brings a pile of skins and throws them on the
Yeah.
table. Says pick something. And it's awesome.
Got a coworker where the guy actually like put out an APB on 2 gators.
Really?
Just like picked up the phone and said like, I need 2 13 footers. When can you have them to me? And just the idea of like
Put a hit out.
put a hit out on 2 moderately sized alligators just
That's
for the sake
awesome.
of some cowboy boots. Love that idea.
So the primary
gators.
gator hide outlet or place where they come from is from my wife's hometown,
Oh,
Monroe, Louisiana.
Monroe.
Actually,
really?
she's from Calhoun, but Nobody knows Calhoun.
Is-
I would know Monroe, but not Calhoun.
Is it like that TLC store or what? Or
No,
show?
these guys, these
so
guys
like you got guys
no,
on
they
like
raise the gator.
oh they raise the gators.
Yeah,
So it's not
and-
pontoons and shotguns or that kind
No,
of thing.
no. It's a gator
Okay.
farm, and then like Louis Vuitton. I think that's one of their biggest clients.
Really?
Yeah, they're making high-end gator hides. Your boots likely came from that farm.
What do you feed a farmed gator? Do you just throw chickens
Chicken,
in there?
raw chicken.
Throw
Yep.
chickens in there? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I've never.
Damn chickens.
Yeah,
There's lots of those in the neighborhood. That's easy food for them.
not
to
too
get
many
there.
eggs, but plenty of
Out
chickens.
in that part of the world, lots of food. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big size gator farm. I think you can tour it. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Huh.
You want to ever
We
go
can
to
take a field trip.
I think we should.
Yeah,
field
I think
trip
we
to-
should.
yeah.
We'll drive them over to Falfurrius when we're done.
I'd love to.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of field trips, so I want to make sure we get into this and we have enough time. But so we had a breakfast this morning with the Edge program, which is a young mentorship.
Did you go?
I did. I was looking for
You
you.
told me you weren't going to be there.
Well, I went there and I
Oh.
made you look bad.
You're not young.
You
And
did.
actually, somebody introduced me as Craig's friend. So it's better than son. Let's put it that way. So yeah, this is Craig's friend.
Okay. Classic.
But seriously, I mean, getting your take. We're older than you are, but still kind of consider ourselves
I'm above the median now. I
old
think now.
school-ish.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
A young person. I was answering a lot of questions this morning from kids that are still in school.
Yeah.
Looking to get in the business, or at least maybe even.
Did you talk them out of it?
No, not necessarily,
Okay.
but I told them there are a lot of options. So some tips and tricks and things to consider, I guess. Maybe even when you're thinking of hiring somebody, what are you looking for in a partner, for
There's-
example? I always say I'm looking for folks that have been exposed to some adverse working environments, and it's definitely no shortage there, right?
I've been through some. Yeah, I guess my share of things. Start out with it's kind of an emotional intelligence is what we're looking for the most. Somebody who can hold a conversation, has overcome some adversity. My favorite interview question's always been, tell me a story about when you messed something up, and that'll usually just decide the entire interview and kind of my opinion on it. Just with that one question, because and I've gotten all kinds of stories from airplanes that were ordered. That weren't needed, $20,000 mistakes and stuff like that. Like one guy, he was an intern who had just broken up with his girlfriend and he was practically crying, and he was not moved forward in the process.
He was crying in the interview?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
He needed some time.
he needed some
To heal.
time. Yeah.
He had to know that didn't go well.
I'm sure he did. So produce is a trade, I think.
Man, I'm getting some real nuggets here.
And so you got to kind of take your lumps, and you can be told a million things, but you got to experience it to really go through some of these tougher times and learn how to deal with it as yourself. And so you want somebody with a character to be able to kind of work through that. And the baseline skills are kind of stupid, it's agriculture, but I think you got to type fast. Little things like that. Can you type fast? Can you
Type pass.
Yeah, can you type fast? You got to be computer literate, because if you're just poking at it, oh man, and I poke the desk, which is a no-no. But if you're just poking at a computer, you can't move at the speed that you're going to need to move with modern systems. Is something I think
How
about.
many words per minute?
Like 120. Yeah.
I knew you'd have an answer. Like, ask me.
Because I'm in that age of video games where voice chat wasn't good enough yet, so you'd have to hit enter, type some,
and wait,
talk some shit, and then hit enter again.
and wait for the response.
Yeah.
For the dial-up.
So you would die if you're playing Counter-Strike or something. So that's what taught me how to type. But the head math is the other a strange thing. Like what's 10% of 120 or 15% of 300? But a willingness to learn, a willingness to kind of suffer through it. I always tell people when they start, you're going to work for 12 hours, and then you're going to work for 10. Then,
Stick with itness.
and then and then you're going to work for 8, and then you're going to work for 6, and then you're going to mess up a lot of things, and you're going to come back and work for 10, and you're just going to kind of dial yourself in.
You really sell it.
Yeah.
You make it sound.
I also because I mean I work for a retailer, so a lot of the folks we hire were produce managers or produce partners at some point or another, and I always tell them like you're gonna get fat. And that's been real fun to kind of see, and then usually if they get hired 2 or 3 months later, it's like, yeah, I got fat. Oh my God, what? I told you.
To walk the warehouse.
I told you exactly.
I didn't know that was a job hazard of a buyer, but I guess that maybe.
Well, it's more just lifestyle, right? Like when I was in the stores, I was walking 16 miles a day.
Yeah. And toting a few boxes.
And lifting and all that. And you go sit at a desk. And now we have a standing desk, so that's healthier, right? But
that's what they say.
Yeah. But,
I don't have one, but
yeah, I like to sit. I like to sit when I think, but yeah, it does catch up with you pretty quick, especially if you're used to eating the calories required to walk 16 miles a day and lift half a truckload. So,
well, that's great feedback on what you're looking for. As far as folks wanting to get in the industry.
So if you're ever hiring a produce buyer, then you're set. You've got some tips for that.
For sure. Just completely talk them out of it, and if they still want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, I think, one of the attendees here always used a Saving Private Ryan analogy, and I always thought that was good. But I think what Claude Aaron said was my favorite, which was the partial victories will feel better than the complete victories. And sometimes if a tree falls in the forest and nobody notices, like that means you did it right.
The partial victories
feel better than the complete victories because they're a lot more work.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know, if you have half the strawberries you need, but you started the day with none of the strawberries you need, then you know what? Like,
it's a bit
you did your job. You mitigated it.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
That's pretty good. I like that. That may be a good life thing.
So I've got
enjoy the partial victories
as we're getting close to the high sign. I'm sure, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been paying attention. I know this is a total leading question because I know the answer to it. Tell us something about yourself that almost nobody would know.
Oh, jeez. I think I know what you're going to say, so I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Awesome. I didn't have to ask.
I was raised around music, and I had good pitch as a young man, or as a young child. Yeah, let's call it perfect. I mean, we're in an age of hyperbole, so yeah, it was perfect. It was the best.
Perfect pitch.
And I had a really good music teacher, and I could sing pretty good. So and I lived up in Richardson, which is over just north of Dallas. No, but all the local access television shows like Barney and Wishbone and were filmed in McKinney, which is just north of Richardson. And
it's now part of Dallas.
Yeah, it's now a part.
Back then, it was like a distant city.
We went there to see nature when I was a kid. Now it's a McMansion place. It's good for yoga and ramen. But the anyway, I auditioned and for the Barney show. So I wasn't cute enough, not at all.
We're talking the purple dinosaur.
But Barney the purple dinosaur. The kids aren't singing, but I had perfect.
They did not tell you were not cute enough.
They told me I wasn't cute enough. No, they didn't tell me that. But it was me and 4 other kids, and they put us in a little studio, and we sang Barney songs. I think it was like 3rd or 4th grade, and they paid me $40 an hour to do that. Which and I bought a.
Can we get it?
Yeah, I know, right? And then I bought a 3-disc changer, which was pretty nice in 1994 or whatever.
I did obviously, which is
you did not know that?
Hell no, I didn't. All these years I've known you, I did not know. And this is why you listen to this show, right? Because
yes,
yeah, I guarantee you, there's tons of people who do not know that you were part
you have
of
to have a Barney tattoo.
I do not have a Barney tattoo. And I think this is also leading. I do have a pear. I got a pear tattoo.
Wow.
Yeah.
A pair of what?
Giggity. No, it's
a pear.
Yeah. So,
you're talking about the fruit.
Yeah.
Bartlett.
It's a red Bartlett. So when I decided to be in the produce industry, that this was my career, I decided to commemorate it with a tattoo, and if it were like a zucchini, then that'd be a little questionable. I like zucchini. I'm trying to think of the right produce, or like cherries or peaches. That can get a little weird.
So is it also bad for me to ask where it's at? Is that also is that acceptable?
Yeah, it's on my leg. It's on my leg. In hindsight, I wish I'd gotten a pineapple across the shin. That would have been like really badass. But the
painful.
yeah, that too. And I couldn't afford it at the time. But anyway, so yeah, I decided a red pear. Found out halfway through the tattoo, my interest of time. My tattoo artist was colorblind. He should have told me that. He didn't. I was thinking about his gig book. It was all in black and white. So I have a colorblind man's interpretation of a red Bartlett pear on my left calf.
There's nothing like a colorblind tattoo artist to ruin your day.
It's a scar of a different time, and I'm proud to own it. So
do you eat pears? Do you like pears?
I eat.
Are you an aficionado of pears?
Pears are like
they're great.
They're the best fruit. Maybe I think.
I don't know. Well, that's a stretch.
But they don't get the love that they used to because it's an exercise in delayed gratification, and as a millennial, I'm not very good at that. So when I was working the stores, it was great. You get a bruised up pear, it's like, it's going in the trash. Let's eat it. But now it's admittedly, I can't say that I buy a piece of fruit to eat 6 days later.
I feel compelled to get a piece of fruit, a tattoo of a piece of fruit.
I think you should. Yeah. What would you get?
Honestly, my
why
favorite
fruit?
thing is
Why are you getting?
or veggie.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things I feel more passionate about. A fruit.
You know what? I'll pay for a squash on your ass.
Eggplant.
I'm not sure.
Eggplant.
Eggplant.
It's got to be an eggplant.
Eggplant on.
Yeah, it's got to be an eggplant.
I'm not sure paying for it is really what I'm looking for, but thank you. We'll put a pin in that.
Hey,
we are.
Y'all heard it. I made the commitment.
I'll put 5 on it.
Okay.
We're gonna have to do a part 2, maybe in San Antonio. Austin, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for the support again. We enjoyed having you. Always fun. Great to find out something new about you, or a couple things new. Actually,
yeah, exactly.
There were some Easter eggs. Is that right? Is that
Easter egg is correct?
Yeah.
And
we're coming up on it. We're coming up on it too. It's topical.
All right, awesome.
But
all right, folks.
Thanks for listening to this special edition of The Fresh Cred, recorded live at Viva Fresh 2025. Stay tuned. We've got more voices from the heart of the produce industry coming your way.